So I'm a student representative in the Student Council and also in Hub 1. And now in the intern board for the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters. And today, well, here we have Georg. He's from University of Tübingen. And you are?
Yeah, I'm sort of leading. Well, I'm here with my work package leader hat on. I'm leading the work package that is concerned with the student side of the inter-university campus, the CIVIS inter-university campus, and that also includes activities for students. And in this case, I would like to tell you about a call for student-led projects that we have put out and that I would ask you to promote the hell out of so we get as many great applications as we can.
So if we just start a little bit shortly, what is a CIVIS student-led project?
Yeah, basically it's there in the byline. You have a cool project with a European dimension. Well, you're in.
That was not that difficult. But what is a CIVIS student-led project?
Yeah, basically we're looking for all sorts of extracurricular activities that you want to do, initiatives also that are initiated and coordinated, managed by students. Small caveat already, they may have to be co-created with an academic to receive the funding in some universities, but we'll be coming back to this. So it can be anything really. I mean, we have a few suggestions on the right-hand side. It can be community service, it can be the hackathon that you guys have been planning already. It can be forums, it can be, I don't know, clubs, conferences, you name it. So we just want to create a way in which students and academics and local actors can cooperate in a transdisciplinary, you know the CIVIS drill, transdisciplinary, transnational, 3 universities. No, we don't have the 3 universities there. We sort of narrowed that down a little or eased it up. But that's the philosophy behind it, really.
So what are the criteria?
Yeah, there we are right at the criteria. There is the top 4 criteria are musts, and as you can see, there is no 3 universities there, so that's good. So it has to be student-oriented. It has to be initiated by students. It should build upon and promote European values, be related to the Sustainable Development Goals. If you don't know these, you probably do, but if you don't know these, on the call website there is a link behind that SDG you can just click on. And it should have a transnational dimensions, like I said. Also, they should fulfill 2 of the others that are down there. I'm not going to go in through all of them. The last one is, in some universities it may have to be co-created, but that is really depending on where you draw the money. So yeah, you can look at those. They're also on the call website.
Yeah.
Let's speed up.
So who can apply for these student-led projects?
Yeah, they can be either individual students, groups of students, or student associations operating in a CIVIS university. It's open to all students by the wider definition of students, which includes PhD students. And others, either single persons, schools, NGOs, can be part as associate members, but unfortunately, because this is EU money, we can't transfer it out of the universities, so they can only be part as co-organizers, things like that. Also, students and staff from the African universities can also be included. Unfortunately, for the very same reason at this point, we can't really transfer money to them. So, yeah, mobility should be possible, but we have to do that individually, case by case, see what we can do.
Yeah, so that's basically everybody in this room can apply, more or less. And what is in it for the students? Why would we want to do this?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's a great experience to be had, but the thing you'd be interested in is the funding, and there is 2 different tiers. We have a seed fund of €1,000 if you have sort of an idea for a project, but don't really have a group yet. You want to look for people to do it with, then you can apply for this smaller fixed amount of €1,000, which, for example, could give you 2 mobilities to promote your thing, or promotional materials, you name it. We'll come to the eligible costs later. And the big one for the full project is basically a budget up to 10,000 euros. And you'd have to submit a budget form as well. We'll not show you that, but it's on the website, it's all linked. Yeah. So, yeah, basically a full project up to 10,000 euros.
Yeah, so we have two different types of funding, depending on the project and how far along the project is.
Exactly.
And then what can we do with the budget?
Yeah, well, basically I already mentioned one, mobility is always a possibility in CIVIS. You can also have some expenses for publicity, like flyers, posters, you know the drill. You can also have some activities, I mean, simple catering is possible. Also, for example, if you're traveling as a group and you need to hire a minibus, that's also possible, or you need to hire a venue, all that is possible. The venue is probably within a university, but yeah. And all other expenses that are in line with CIVIS rules, and you can get these from the institutional coordinators. They're always, as always in CIVIS, your first contact. There are some ineligible costs, and the important one is we can't really transfer this money outside the university. So we can subcontract and all kinds of third-party funding, which, for example, if you want to hire a lawyer, that's going to be difficult. You already have run into that problem, so you have to use other funds for that. And also no purchase of equipment, but you can rent equipment from the university once it's already there.
Yeah.
We can skip that because we'll have a presentation from Florence after this one, and she'll tell you about the first project we have already sort of lined up.
Yeah, and then we're gonna, or Georgi is gonna talk about how it all works. How do we apply, and who will support us?
Yeah, get out your smartphones. There is a QR code. There is a link to the CIVIS website. We'll show it again later. There is a call website, and then the first thing you do once you've gone through it, contact your IC. They should know, and they can tell you if there are specific details to be watched for the funding, and they'll also help you with filling the, especially if you're already filling a budget, they'll help you because they know about the funding. Then submit your proposal. There's an online form to do that. It's not long, it's like 15 questions or something like that. It's not onerous. And then your proposal will be reviewed by a panel. I'm a member of that. Vida is too? Yeah, Vida is too. So are your, or Anna Maria is also a member. So it will be also reviewed by your peers, and then we'll let you know, and you'll get a notification. You can go.
What's the timeline? When do our projects need to be sent in?
Yes, that's where it becomes, the call is open, has been for almost a month now. Just for your information, we'll have another information session on the 8th of October. It will be basically this presentation and a Q&A. I will also do a little Q&A after this immediately. Then there is a submission deadline on the 31st of October. We'll evaluate during November, hope to give you the results by December, and you can start your projects in the new year, basically. I mean, you can start, but if you need funding for something, start in January. And we would, ideally, your project should be completed at the end of the academic year this year. If it's stretching beyond that, talk to us. We have a communication page later on. Have a chat with us. We can sort this. But this is sort of the thing. Also be aware, you'll have to report a little, but we'll also come back to that.
Yeah. So how do we make this work? How do we make our idea into an actual student-led project? Well,
the first advice we can give you, talk, communicate. You've probably seen the new tagline here at the CIVIS Days and elsewhere, that CIVIS is a journey, and these kind of projects are also a journey. Follow your project, think of communication and dissemination from the beginning. do, I don't know, do a blog, do a storyboard, do podcasts, have a social media feed, and all these little steps. They can help you create that final report that we are going to need in the end, because that will, basically you create your own narrative as you go along, and you can also use that narrative to get supporters. Well, you know how it works if it's out on, dare I say, Instagram, or am I being too old-fashioned? But you know what I'm about. So also, let the CIVIS communications people know. There is Shan back there. You also know Maria Isabel probably. They will also be happy to share and like and subscribe the hell out of your output.
Yeah, so very important here is that whoever does the student-led project, you have to kind of start thinking of like dissemination and everything. So you have to start collecting all the data and posting and writing already from the beginning, so not when you have actually started doing the project, but even when you're just planning it as well, because it's going to help you later on, as Georg said.
Yeah. Also, lots of help and support. We're in the process of putting together a support package. As I said, we'll help you with the project planning. You'll get some communication support as well. There is going to be a little package on the website as well. Also, we can give you all the contacts into the university administration. I mean, just talk to your IC if you need, for example, I don't know, rent a room, and we can connect you to the people administrating the rooms in the universities. There is also a connection to the local communities available via the Open Labs. So the Open Labs are in on this as well. There is one in every CIVIS city. We can get you in touch and connect you with those as well. And of course, you'll get all the standard stuff that CIVIS always does. Support for using the funds and support for mobility.
Yes, let's see. So now just a quick recap of everything. So we have the info session on the 8th of October where we're going to be presenting this and then having a Q&A. It's going to be other people joining, not just student council, so it's for a lot of other people. And then by the end of October we have the submission deadline for both types of funding. And then the project should be implemented between January to September, so like by the end of the CIVIS year, which is the end of September 2025. And then...
Yeah, we'll have a little outlook also for you. I mean, of course, we all want you to do that first call because then we know where we are. But if that's too tight for you, I mean, depending on funding availability, so if the funds are completely exhausted by that first call, you're bad luck for you. But we expect to have a second call late in this year for students, for projects that will be running from spring to spring 25 to spring 26. And then probably a third call that's going to open pretty early next year for projects until the end of the CIVIS 2 phase at the end of September 26. So watch out for these, but don't be late. It's first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Also, please don't be a stranger. The first email will put you through to the selection panel and support group doing this call. And of course, you know the other list, and you'll be sending an email to yourselves. But if you forward the information to the other students outside this room, they'll be, at least we hope you'll be contact persons as well at your universities.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. You have the QR code there again. And we'll finish the recording and be available for your questions and hopefully some answers as well.